Greetings, salutations. Unfortunately for you, I'm back with another video. It's story time, just off topic, just kind of sharing. So, a thing that happened to me this week. So, Monday, very early in the week. So, I'm doing delivery at one of my restaurants as I normally do. I'm there every week on Mondays. I hit them on Mondays. They're usually my fourth or fifth stop. Um, and it's in the middle of the shopping center kind of area. Like it's by itself on its lonesome down this little road, but it's like kind of like this plaza, the shopping center plaza thing. There's a Kroger back here with like a Planet Fitness and a Bills and a and a Five and Below and all that attached to it. You know, all in this one stretch on this strip. Then there's this gas station for the Kroger over here, and then there's some smaller restaurants over at the side, Crystals, 73 coffee and stuff like that. And I'm doing delivery to this one restaurant that, again, I hit every week. And their other truck has beaten me there. And that's not a big deal because the way that this normally goes, sometimes we miss each other. Sometimes our routes are just going to make contact with each other. If I'm there first, it's not a very big property. There's not a lot of room for a tractor trailer to park. Um, you have these small little areas to park with a drive through that wraps around the building. But there is this one area where there's parking spaces over here. The drive through's here, but it's this big wide open space because it needs to be wide enough for a waste management truck to come in to empty their dumpster. So prime place for a tractor trailer to go into because you can turn in there wide and just loop around the building. It's going to be narrow. Better hope nobody's coming through the drive-through. In which case, they are going to back up one way or the other. So, but you know, you do what you do. Most people have common sense to see a truck and just like I'm going to go this way. And the thing about it is, for the one that's not there first, we park in the road that's right by the mailbox to this place. We set our brakes, turn on our flashers, and we go ahead and do our delivery. That way, we're not losing time. We can keep going, and we do it all the time. In fact, I have a lot of businesses where I have to park in the road and unload anyway, so it's no big deal. And it's in the shopping center, and it's in this part of the shopping center plaza that's not very busy, especially this time of day. And this particular business is not very busy this time of day anyway, because they're more of a dinner time kind of place. So, anyways, um, it was my turn to be parked in the road. So, set my brakes, turn on my flashers, and I do this quite often, and so does the other guy. And that's relevant because there is a crack in the blacktop that I didn't know about, and I found out about it that morning. Because as I was doing my 3 point climb, you know, that means you have to have 3 points of contact as you're coming out of the truck, either 2 feet in one hand or two hands and 1 foot, going up or down. And don't touch the steering wheel because if it moves, you can lose your balance and fall. Anyways, I'm coming down, and my foot, you see, I wear composite toe tennis shoes with slip resistant soles because they're just comfortable enough to not bother me, but they do enough as far as personal protection equipment. So uh, it's relevant because you know obviously you can't feel the top of your toe. This crack is just wide enough for my foot to fit in perfectly and for me to not feel the other side of the crack with the sole of my foot. But it's just narrow enough to really trip me up. I think you know where I'm going with this. Because as I'm coming down out of the truck, you know, obviously, like most people, you know, toe down first and then you flatten out your foot as you're coming down. You know, you're feeling your way down with your foot. And of course, your body weight is going to be on that foot as you come down. And so, whenever my body weight which is about 215 pounds. Yes, I know I'm out of shape. Comes down on that foot. Well, and I'm still in this uneven crack. Well, the bottom of my foot's not going to straighten out because I'm in this crack. I think you can tell where I'm going with this because that means my ankle is now become a pivot point. Meaning that it turned this way while my body turned that way. And it popped like 6 times. And I could feel it pop. It was about 5 or 6 times. And I don't know if the popping was audible, but the noise I made certainly was. Because I squalled like a scalded dog. I laid on the ground. Because, I mean, of course, I fell after that happened. I laid on the ground moaning and groaning and carrying on. And a snotting and a crying and all that. And so I'm in this road. And it's 2-lane road. And because it's a shopping center, 15 mile an hour is generally speed limit. And lucky for me, it's a time of day where this part of the shopping center is not going to be busy. But there are still going to be some people coming through there. It's not totally dead. And here comes another car. And this is where the bipolar part of your brain kicks in. Because when you're in pain, your blood pressure goes up. You're not in a good mood. You can try to be nice, but that's the key word. Try. You're going to be putting on a mask because at the end of the day, you're just trying not to be hateful to people that don't deserve it. At the same time, I'm laying on the ground and I see the car coming. And I can't, part of me can't help but think to myself, I hope he doesn't stop because I'm already embarrassed enough. I'm laying on the ground, I'm squalling and carrying on. Like, this is just being an embarrassment. Like, I hope he don't stop. Well, that part came true because he kept on going. And then the other part of my brain, the part where that gets angry because my blood pressure is sky high because I'm hurt, is going. It's a good thing I'm not dying because he certainly wasn't going to help. So I couldn't help but laugh at myself after the fact about how angry I got about that after just wishing before that he doesn't stop. And so I finally was like, okay, I'm down here long enough. I need to get up and I need to get out of this road. So I get up, I hobble up, and I start hopscotching around the corner. And I make it to the sidewalk, to the door, and the other truck, they are just finishing up. And they're like, are you okay? And I'm like, I don't know. And so I just kind of lay on the sidewalk for a minute and just moan and groan and carry on. And I finally get up after that because I just need to try to vent it out some way, and so making noise is the only thing I know to do without passing out. And so I get up and I hopscotch into the door, and then of course the people who are who are the employees of the stop that I'm delivering to, are you okay? I don't know. I'm getting ready to figure that out. And so I get inside and I sit down and I pull my shoe and my sock off, which I never do out in public. But I need to check and see because part of me is afraid to look at it. But I need to see if there's a bone sticking out or if it's blue or what. And to my surprise, it's still flesh colored. It is starting to swell, but it is flesh colored, and there's no bone. And I was like, okay. So I just kind of take about 10 minutes, and I sit there. And I sit there, and I was like, okay, I'm going to put my shoe back on it. I put weight on it, and it doesn't feel great, but I can at least walk on it. So I'm walking around, and they're like, are you sure you're okay? And I'm like, if I could put weight on it, I'm fine. So, because I'm just that hard-headed. So, anyways, I do all the accident reports and all that stuff at work, and all the stuff that I need to do. And because this technically was not on that business's part of the property, I don't have to fill out nothing for them. So, they know about it, but it doesn't happen on their property, so it's not like they're liable for anything. And I work all week like this. The following Tuesday, I was miserable. I mean, it is not fun. I have a lot of stops, and a lot of them get a lot of product from me. So a lot of them are 1 to 2 hour stops, and that's not fun to work when you're hurting. And a lot of them have the unloading area downhill from where you're actually taking it, and that sucks because that means you're going to dolly everything up the hill, and that's not fun to do when your ankle's hurting. And so I powered through it. I was slower than normal, but I did it. And the following day, Wednesday, it wasn't too bad. It didn't feel too bad. The swelling had gone down, and it was certainly not comfortable, but it was not crazy unbearable. But, as the week goes on, it kind of gets rough and all that stuff. Well, yesterday, Thursday, we have this app on our phones that they send our paycheck stubs to, our insurance stubs to, our vacation time, everything. And it'll alert our phones when we have a new thing to do on that app. So like approving a paycheck or checking your insurance or your tax info or whatever. And we also do refresher courses for safety every year. So my little event, it fast forwarded the slips, trips, and falls safety program. And so I'm going through it. I'm looking through it, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm going to have to do this when I get home. That's the cool part. That's the convenient part, is like you can do it on your own time. You don't have to do it while you're at work. And I'd rather be at home comfortable and do this anyway, and just focus on the job I've got in front of me. And so all the other delivery drivers are texting me all day. And my nickname over there is Banjo. I haven't gone by Rex in quite a while. But, I still keep the name because I still have a lot of people from the factory that refer to me as T-Rex, and that's what the majority of people know me as, aside from the coworkers and the customers that I have now. And I have a lot of them text me all day, yesterday and today. Good job, Banjo. I really wanted to spend 30 minutes of my personal time watching a stupid video and taking a stupid pop quiz. I appreciate it. And I'm like, guys, I'm sorry. I didn't ask for this to happen. I'd rather this not happen. And then another one got mad because he's like, man, you had the perfect scenario to go ahead and take workers' comp and take off for 2 weeks. And now you're making the rest of us look bad because you decided you wanted to work and you didn't want to take off. Like, sorry, guys, I don't like to take off for hangnails. That being said, boy, it is extremely sore right now. It's Friday night, and honestly, I'm having trouble sleeping right now because now that is paying back in dividends. I am not making contact with the floor right now. I'm sitting in my rolly chair, my little desk chair, and I've got my foot off the ground because I can't stand to make contact with the ground right now. So I'm going to be laying down again here in a minute and trying this sleep thing again. But yeah, lucky for me, it was just a sprain. But again, just watch where you're going. But I hope you got a little bit of entertainment from my pain. So as always, guys, take care. God bless, and I'll see you on the other side.